When I was about 16, I had started having random stomach issues out of nowhere. I went to a doctor for about a year. I didn't get a diagnosis at all or anything like that. I tried to have her give you suggestions of what it could be. She didn't really mention anything. She just kind of let it be. She put me on a medicine that I kept telling her wasn't working. And then eventually I got to the point where I had to switch doctors when I eventually turned 18 so I could see an actual gastroenterologist of my choice and not just one my aunt had gotten me into. And then I finally got to see this one, and he was a lot better. He gave me a diagnosis at least, and then eventually he said there was something wrong with my liver, which I had never had any issues with my liver. I'm only 21. I don't drink, so I don't understand how that happened to happen. But he had to get blood tests a bunch of times. It ended up just being too expensive where we weren't even really able to figure out what exactly it was. He said it was autoimmune hepatitis. I'm not even sure what that is or how I could have possibly gotten it. I finally got to go to a liver doctor, and he said I could have just had mono, and it's just all kind of confusing, and I don't know where it came from or what it could have been. And I think honestly now, since I seem to be perfectly fine, I'm not too worried about it. My meds have been keeping my stomach in check, and I don't think I've been having any liver issues, so I've never had any issues with it before, so maybe it was just a misdiagnosis kind of thing. I'm not sure.
My name is Karaya. I am 20 years old, and I'm a Rowan student, and I work at White House Black Market. Growing up as a kid, I was always shorter, noticeably shorter than the other kids. It caused concern for my mom, enough where she took me to the doctors, and they told me and her that it was nothing to worry about, that because I haven't gone through puberty, I still had time to grow, and they basically kind of dismissed my mom's concern like it was just, I'm just I have a slow growth spurt. As I got older, after being taken to the doctor at least 2 more times, my allergist noticed that my growth was so far off the growth chart and what it should have been that he recommended that I go to an endocrinologist. Come to find out, I was actually diagnosed with Turner syndrome, and we didn't know until I turned about 13 or 14 years old. And by then, it was kind of crucial to the point where it was critical because they didn't know what damage was done from me having Turner syndrome. Turner syndrome affects a lot of the body. It affects your heart, your ears. I'm actually partially deaf because of it. It affects your fertility and other things. Obviously, your short stature and things like that.
Anicia Broadwater, I'm 26, and I'm a manager for Pearson Pagoda and a cosmetologist. 2 years ago, I went to the doctors a couple times because I was having lower back pain, and they kept telling me it was my sciatic nerve. And then I found out a year later, after seeing multiple doctors, that I actually needed major back surgery. So it was so much worse because the doctors misdiagnosed me. It affects certain things that I do. I can't move around too much for too long because it hurts. It's a lot better than it was in the beginning, but it's a struggle every day just to figure out how I'm not going to be in pain. That if I would have waited 2 to 3 more weeks, I would have been physically paralyzed from the waist down because it affected my nerves so bad.